This is a recap for Monday, December 14th. We begin studying algebra, an introduction to algebra this week. And so we didn't get too far in the CAMI, but the target is to evaluate expressions. And we rewrite the expression by substituting the given value for the variable and follow the order of operations. So when you think of variables, we talked about this in class, that I want you to think of the word vary like this, like something that changes, like the weather varies, the weather changes. So a variable is something that is able to vary, something that's able to change. So when we don't know what a number is in algebra, we just put a letter there, like an X or an N or a W, and that's called a variable. And we don't know, in this case, with my letter X right there, what the value is. But we could, depending on the problem, find out what the value is. And we could say, well, the value is 6 or 5 or a half or any number at all. So that's what we're going to do on 5x minus 3. That is 5 times a number minus 3. So this is 5 times a number that we don't know minus 3. And now we do know what it is. It's 8. So we're going to rewrite it as 5 times 8. When we put two numbers next to each other with parentheses now in algebra, that means multiplication, and we're going to subtract 3. And then we just do the order of operations. So it looks kind of like that. 5 times 8 is 40. 40 minus 3 is 37. So this still doesn't mean too much. It's just we talked about that an expression is like a phrase, like just saying the dog or the red house or a fast car. It's not a complete sentence or idea. It's just a part. And so when we do something like this problem right here, 5x minus 3, what if x is equal to 8? Then it would have a value of 37. Is not really a problem. It is just an expression. It's just kind of like a phrase is not a sentence. And some of the words that we came up with in class today that have to do with addition, of course, add or plus or increase, and there's other ones. For subtract, we could say less or less than, minus, fewer. And for multiplication, there's product and multiplied by or times. And then for division, we could have quotient goes into. I like to use groups of or split into groups. Bracket multiplication of is another one. The product of 7 and m, we discussed in class how this has like 26 symbols that are being used if I count up every letter in every space. But to write it in algebra, we only need 2. 7 times the number m. That's what means exactly the same thing. Or 2 more than 6x. And this could also be written as 6x plus 2. So those mean exactly the same thing. Excuse me. And then finally we asked the question, is 5 a solution? So that's asking the equation, does it make the statement true? So this is an equation. So now this is like a sentence. When we add this equals, that turns it into a sentence. And we need to determine if the sentence is true or not. So if we take this 5 and we replace it right here, we want to find out, well, is that true? Using the order of operations. So if we do negative 2 times 5 and we add 6 to it, we want to know, I wonder if that's going to turn into negative 16. So that's what the question is. So negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. And negative 10 combined with 6 is negative 4. So it didn't equal negative 16, so we say no, not a solution. So y does not equal a 5. It's going to equal something else. There is a solution, and that's what we're going to be doing when we get back from break. We're going to be doing that in January. So that was all for Kami today, so I'll close that out, and we'll go to Math 7 resources. So I'll go to classes and Math 7 resources because I have added to Math 7 resources 5 websites. We did this one today, Who Wants to Be 100 Air, and that's also in your Pear Deck, some of those questions. And then there's a couple other one-step equations and different ways to interact with algebra to test out whether you understand it and explain it in different ways. And so we had some work time today. I actually want to go here real quick to our class. So I'll go to periods 1, 2, and 3 are the same. So I'll just go to period 1. If you happen to be listening to this and you're in period 2 or 3, this is exactly the same. And go to classwork. And I want to make sure you understand that week 8 is the beginning of quarter 2. So you should be looking through here, making sure you're done with all these, making sure you're done with IXL E3, making sure you finish this Kami, making sure you're done with that. And since I've already graded all the way up through right here, if you do one of these, please come to my office hours and let me know, or send me an email and say, can you please update my grade? There are no office hours today, and then there are special office hours tomorrow if you're interested in some advanced challenges. I have an opportunity for you, so come tomorrow, Tuesday the 15th at 2 o'clock. All right, that is the update for Monday, December 14th.